Speak.
Why did it take so long? All right, we're live.
Hello to
Okay.
everyone.
Bonjour.
All right, so I missed
Bonjour.
New Jersey Housewives recaps all week or all day because it was only last night, right?
Yes.
So, all right,
Right.
guys, hi, whoever's on. I don't see anybody watching us right now. So there's me 0 watchers. All right, so we're on Facebook,
Just cool
Twitter,
and chill and
and YouTube. So, all right, so what did you guys think about Louis' present to Teresa?
The love scroll.
Let Joe begin. Joe, it's
Go
for
ahead,
you.
Joe.
It's a little extra.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like something you would do in high school. You know,
Yeah.
it's just not something grown men usually do.
I feel like
They just seem emotionally immature,
Right.
right? Does not seem a little emotionally immature to y'all?
I
Very
feel,
high school.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I said he's obsessed with her, not her money, and that just kind of proves it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's sweet, but it shows an immaturity that kind of scares me. You know?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like I should feel the warm and fuzzies when I saw the scroll, but like it did nothing. Like if
Yeah.
anything else, it was a little cringy, and I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the actual gesture itself, but if it's like the combination of it of the gesture.
Hi, Erin. Hi.
Hi, Aaron.
Right, and the jazz, the saxophone player.
He was weird, right? Like, did anybody get the cringies from
Yeah,
him?
it was a little awkward.
Like, he
Yeah, I
seemed
thought
like
the whole thing was a little
his son was playing
awkward.
the saxophone or
I
something.
just had a question. Why is Louis is always red with his face? What's going on?
It's from tanning and drinking.
Oh, it's not the Jersey.
Oh,
It's from, all right, so if you ever notice somebody who drinks and they're at the, I guess his age, if you tan, like you get very red in the face.
Red tomatoes?
That's right. I forgot about that. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, like my dad.
Yeah, somebody told me. Yeah,
my dad's just like Louis. Like he looks like he's Irish. Well, he's really like English, but like he looks Italian. And he's
they turn red.
Yeah, just that Cherokee Indian color. And then when you drink, your blood pressure, your face, just you get that red, leathery look to you when you get that.
He is red. He is.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks strangely red.
He's like Ryan Bailey always has a picture of like the raisin guy, the California raisin guy.
When you see, in
God.
the video with this guy in the beach, he was red because he was burned, because he was drink, because he was sad. I don't know. Why are you so red, Louise? What's going on in your
all of the above.
I don't know.
Doesn't
know what is sunscreen protection. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know, Joe. He needs sunscreen.
Is that your husband, Trish?
Yeah, that's Keith.
He's such a good-looking guy. Hi, Keith. He's a good-looking guy.
They say hi.
I think Jen
Does he know that he's got like 1 million people watching him right now?
Trish,
you got 1 million viewers.
Yes, I think Jen Chan needs Leo in lawyer because with Leo she can win the jury hurt.
There you go.
Yeah,
poor Jen. She's
we don't go in Salt Lake. It's just so insane. Oh my god! But the saxophone, yes, it
was like he was like his son or something. I don't know. It was like his kid playing.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I don't.
But they're both immature, so they kind of fit together.
True.
You know.
I was saying, like, I feel like the most I have all this wisdom, but I'm like a child. I'm like a small child with like all this wisdom that like I don't know what to do with.
But I guess if I were to like if all Teresa's known is how Joe treated her.
Oh,
then,
exactly.
Then maybe all of these like you know, like I guess what we think are cringy are just really awkward.
I mean, it's just
they're like sweet to her because they're new. They're like, ooh,
right.
He's actually
that's what I mean.
Warm and fuzzies. Like I don't know. It's
right.
It's weird.
But
that's what. Go ahead.
Oh! I forgot. I don't see Sarah
now. It's just insane, this relation between Teresa and Luis. Because did she learn to what she gone through with Joe, with Jed, with everything? Did she learn her lesson? Did she say, okay, I had little girls, I need maybe to be just more, let time to make things, just not to rush in wedding without a prenup, and everyone is hurt. Say no, Teresa.
I think she's warming up to the prenup. She's warming up to the prenup. I saw her on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy was like, girl, you and I need to sit down and chat. She's like, all right already. And
because
whatever. He's got more money than her, so it shouldn't be an issue. But
he does have more money than her.
So
yes, maybe
I think that they're both so immature emotionally that they might just be perfect together.
But I'm sorry, you know what?
But the business of him bringing up that well, someone asked him, did you beat some lady in front of her kids? And he said, well, I heard that lady stabbed her ex with a knife.
Yeah,
and no one drilled down on that.
I know.
No one said, wait, what?
Yeah, what happened?
And plus, so they would, what does that have to do? What does that have to do with anything?
Right.
Did you slap her in front of her kids?
Yeah, it's more of like, hey, Louis, can you I think what Tiki was like asking is like, we've heard a lot of these rumors, not just one. It's like, so like, what do you make of it? And then Louis is like, oh, look over there.
Right. Everybody did. Maybe because they were drunk.
Tiki has the breath has to leave because other guys say, no, we don't. We know, but we don't see. We know. I'm sorry, but the brother of Teresa, it's Joe. Yes, Joe. It's maybe Louis allegedly beat a kid just in front of his other girlfriend, the ex. He doesn't say one thing to just prevent this situation. Just say, okay, Louis, I heard that, but I know you are, but what's going on? Because I'm afraid for my nieces. I love them. I love the kids. What's going on? It just asking.
You know what? Tiki and Rhonj Barber are from my hometown. They're from Roanoke, Virginia, and they went to, or at least Tiki. Yeah, and Tiki went to UVA. He was like a couple of years behind me. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Small world.
I am trying to. I see Sarah in the backstage, but I can't. I'm trying to get her to. All right, yeah, she's coming back in. And for some reason, it's like hidden behind my status bar at the bottom, so it's hard to see the fourth person or the fifth person.
Oh, actually, Tiki may have stopped by in one of the football game halftime thingies, but then I didn't really know him or really know about football that much.
He was so cute, Joe.
No, I'm such a bad Wahoo Trish. Like like
so funny.
I don't really have that good of school spirit.
Oh well.
But
all right.
what I see.
When did you graduate, Joe?
2008.
Oh, me too. No, I'm joking. No.
But
no,
what I
see
is Tiki was
from
very well-known NFL player. It's like that. He was an NFL player.
Right.
He was very known about that to be an NFL player.
Guys,
yeah, and then he cheated on his pregnant wife with Tracy.
I know. Allegedly, Trish. Allegedly.
No. They admitted it. And plus, he's a public figure. They would have to show that I have actual malice and know it to be false.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm in the clear. He's
a
public figure. If you talk about someone who's a public figure, they have to show that you've got actual malice, or you actually, know it's not to be false.
God, finally.
There's Sarah. If you talk about someone who's a public figure, they have to show that you've got actual malice, or you actually.
I have an echo. God, finally. There's Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, she has an echo.
She had echo. Okay.
Yeah.
But he admitted, because what I see in the episode, Tracy was said, no, it's not like what you see. He's not cheating. It was just a stunt when Tracy admitted.
I think we're good.
What I see in the episode, was said, no, it's not. But we know Tracy, when she speaks about her love story with Tiki, it's not like it's cheating. Maybe it was just break up with allegedly with the mother of this baby, and it goes with Tracy. It's what she tried to induce by her, her speech.
Okay.
But it was strange because I don't know he admitted the situation. It's very.
I guess what did I do? I skipped over a whole part. I forgot that I forgot that Melissa and Joe, or Melissa was having that conversation with her daughter, right? About her switching schools. So did you guys ever switch schools, like in the middle of like switch high schools or?
Okay, hold on. I went to 8 different elementary schools.
Oh my gosh.
And when it was awful.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I never stayed at a school. I could never try out for cheerleading for the, following year because you have to do it in the spring. And I never had a friend. I was great at making friends, but not great at, knowing how to keep friends long term. So when my mom decided we were going to move she was in Arizona. And when she said she wanted to move to Roanoke, Virginia, it was right before I was supposed to start high school in Scottsdale. And, I said, look, I'll be supportive if you promise that I'll get to go to one high school. She had family in Roanoke, and her parents were up in New Jersey, and she wanted to be closer because they were getting old. So we moved all the way across the country. I flew from LAX. My dad lived in Santa Monica. I flew from LAX into Roanoke. And after 2 years of being in Roanoke, when I was, we moved there 2 weeks before my 14th birthday. And by the time I was 16, Mom was out. She was done. She didn't like it anymore. I think her sister had moved back up north. And so I told you this once before, Krista, I found another family to live with. And I went to church with them.
Oh, that's right.
And
that's right.
I lived by their rules. And so, because to me, when I landed in Roanoke and realized how the community is and how the consistency and the continuity and families all live within close proximity of each other. And it was just so wonderful. And I didn't want to leave. And so I chose to go to UVA, even though I got offers to go to other schools that maybe some people might consider, more flashy. And I decided, I was going to stay after I graduated from law school. I decided to stay and go to Hunton Williams in Richmond instead of taking an offer to go to King and Spalding in Atlanta, again, because I thought I know people in Richmond. I know people from UVA in Richmond. I know people from Roanoke in Richmond. And it's amazing to me that I have friends now that I've had for 42 years. And I didn't think that would ever happen when I was a little kid because I got, yanked out of school every 6 months to a year because my mom would go, after she got divorced from my dad, she went back to college. And then, she'd go for like a year or a semester and run out of money and have to, find a job somewhere else and would move to a different part of Phoenix and then would move back to Tempe so she could go back to ASU. You know what I mean? So it was that kind of a thing where, she was doing the best she could, but it was no way to grow up as a kid. There was just no, there was no continuity. It was, not good.
It's sad because
I can see why that would be.
Yeah, especially well, I mean, the high schools that she switched were only one town apart. So you kind of if you know about Jersey, you know that you basically know the surrounding high schools. So
plus she said she was able to invite her friends from the old school to so.
But it's also I did that just from 6th grade to 7th grade. I moved schools, and it was a different type of school. It was it just wasn't where I was from, and it was I didn't make friends at all. I was the weird kid anyway. But 6th to 7th grade. But then after that, I was okay. But I just remember being I was gutted. I was you're not moving me in schools. I'm not leaving where I'm at. I don't.
By the time I got to be 16, and I was on the varsity cheerleading team, and I had a boyfriend for a couple of years, and I'd had friends for a couple of years, and I was in this sorority. And I know it all sounds stupid, but to me, my best friend, her grandmother lived down the street, and it was just, I don't know. I loved it. And I just thought, this is where I'm going to stay. And then when my mom left, I wound up moving into a family that was next door to my boyfriend's home. And they had a big family of 5. And once their youngest left, he was a year ahead of me. I just moved into his downstairs, basement room that had its own bathroom. And, I don't know. I just feel grateful to be able to stay in one spot, you know?
Like, I know I probably asked this before, like, you don't talk to your parents, right? Or they're not in your life.
I haven't talked to my mom in 20 years. Yeah.
My stepmom did this. She went through the same thing where, like, her family was her best friend's family. Like, she, right after elementary school, that's all I remember is my grandparents or her best friend's parents. I mean, they're passed on now, but, like, that's why we go back, like, soul contracts. Like, the people that we have in our life are meaningful relationships. Like, they follow with us, like, through lifetime. So, like, there's people who are probably your parents in so many different lifetimes. Like, your parents are probably here just give birth to, you know what I mean? Like, my stepmom always said, like, you truly get connected to people. Your relationships that you have as you get older, or those meaningful relationships, are the ones that are supposed to be there. Like,
yes, it's a repetition for your old life. You have to learn your lesson. Do you know what? This Monday, I was making my astral team. And you was hello Michelle Ashley, hello.
Hi everybody.
It was very interesting, my astral team, because I see some problematic from my past is drawing already in my natal birth chart, and the astrologist explained me you have this thing, and I said just insane because I don't.
Are you ironing, Trish? Sorry.
No, I'm making oatmeal.
Okay.
I
was ironing last time. Sorry, I was ironing last time.
It was just insane.
I was like, man, she's devoted.
To see in my natal birth chart with all this planet and all this star, with this astral team, my life was already drawing with something I suspect, but I see the proof now with this this image of what the moment when I was born. It's just insane that I think we see how past life, the consequences in our present life, and I see that
you bring 50% of your personality from your past lives into this lifetime. Yeah. And the more you work on this lifetime, the more you work on this soul, the better off all your other souls, because technically everything that happens now is always happening at the same time. Like, you better your soul. When you better the soul and your awareness, wherever your awareness is, the more you better that soul, all your other past lives and your future lives, that soul also betters itself.
I had story about one of my friends. I was woman. I know when I do my my studies, we have a very rocky friendship. It's very rocky, very strange, with jealousy, with envious, both sides, very, very strange, both love and hate. When I do my
it comes from the same place.
Yes, but my birth chart, when the astrologist tell me, you know her in your past life, she was jealous of you, she killed you, and she killed me in my past life.
Wow.
To learn something about that. And you know what? I lost one of my friends because I think I was in my shadow working. I'm from awakening spiritually. And I lost one of my friends because she doesn't help me when I need her, but she used my name to do something without my knowledge. And it's not the same girl, but this other girl I know in my past life, these two stories with two women very different, and with two friendship very different, they remind me the boundaries, to make a limit to helping people and to helping you. And when I see Teresa with some of her friends, she wants to help people, but she was in some way, she has this selfishness, this self-love for her, to make her in first. But when you see with Louise, it's very strange, because she's a strong woman, but she's forget herself, and she dissolve herself in this love story with Louise, and it's strange. And
she is old school. It's very old school when it comes to men.
But you can tell too. Like, I feel like
she goes to jail because of that. She goes to jail because she was blind. In some way, because she believed Joe is the god of the family, and it just I'm sorry, but when you have this one step in your life with you, the father of your kids, make things and you go to jail about that and you go to pay everything after that, you say, okay, maybe I just do some safe boundaries in my future love life, and she doesn't learn. And when you see Joe, her brother, and Melissa say, okay, you don't do that with people, you don't, I see all this boundary. And when Joe has to, Jennifer said bad thing about me, Teresa. What did you do? Do you have my back? And she doesn't have his back. It's problematic. She doesn't learn. Her loyalty goes to the wrong people and not the people that are very care for her. It's very strange to me now. And this,
she's just not very smart. I mean, bottom line, I think that, bless her heart, she just basically is not very smart. And that's why she doesn't understand, for example, why it was wrong for her to talk about some alleged wrongdoing of Evan at the gym. And yet, she, has an aneurysm when Kim D said the same thing basically about her husband.
The secretary.
And it was in fact true. Right. So.
And that secretary, I can tell you that shit is true. That really did happen.
Yeah.
and it's not like.
But even if it wasn't true, if it was just a rumor, I mean, it was the same thing about Evan. It was just a rumor. True. And, she absolutely flipped out on Kim D. Like she was going to put hands on her. So.
She did.
And then they're not of the same proportion where Margaret asks a question and,
it's true.
Or the
right. And Margaret, exactly. She just asked.
What is true and is known throughout the town to a certain extent about Jennifer's husband. And, so it's just, there's so much, so much.
And Jennifer was a fake. She was trying to portray herself as a fake. And on any of the housewife shows, if Lisa Rinna were caught cheating, if her husband was caught cheating, it would be blasted. I mean, of course it was going to come out.
But, Lisa Rinna with Ari, there are some strange story. I don't do anything bad. I don't do anything bad. But Ari Hamlin, we all, and Joe knows. Yes, Joe, the story about Ari Hamlin.
With his nails, his acrylic nails.
Oh, I don't know.
We know about his acrylic nails.
I heard story about something, some rumor, some blind item. It's very strange, this story around Lisa Rinna, Ari Hamlin, and other person with invitations.
I think there's been rumors about him being gay for a while, right?
About
who is that?
Harry Hamlin.
Harry Hamlin. Yes, Sarah. We're talking about the husbands. Okay.
What, me?
Yes, Sarah. We talk about the husband. We talk about the husband. Like say, we talk about the husband.
Him.
Because what's that story about Harry Hamlin? When he travels to Canada for filming,
I wouldn't be surprised if he has a whole other family or partner or something up in Canada. But
he's got a boyfriend in there.
I heard story.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I heard story.
What the fuck do I keep disappearing for? Sorry.
I was just gonna say that I feel like back to Trisha's point a little bit about Teresa, the things that I noticed were that I agree, she has a very traditional background, but I also feel like she has never had any of that cutesy romance stuff that you would do like in 8th grade or something like that. And that role reminded me of like from 6th grade or
that's what we were saying. It was like something from high school, and that they're very immature emotionally.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like a $5,000 night right there.
I mean, that was expensive. That was. I mean, let's see. The saxophone.
Maybe more. I was lowballing it, but that was a lot of money.
I think just the boat ride is expensive. I don't think I think the saxophone player is probably like his cousin or his nephew or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to send a driver just to do all that stuff is so much money.
Yeah.
How much do you think,
I mean,
guys? How much?
if it fits each other's love language, I don't want to knock it. I mean, it wouldn't be what I would personally want. Guys, stop fighting.
Oh, the kitties.
Yeah.
Yes, Bridget,
I feel like they're
Bridget
both immature, though.
But
just like Keith wouldn't do it.
I feel like I really
guy,
disliked her telling her daughter, you know, not, you know, well, his past doesn't matter. Like her when she's sitting with her two daughters in the bathroom, like it's not a big deal. I'm like,
but it does.
Look at how, you know, how does the guy treat his mom or his sisters? Like, how is, you know, how does he treat the wait staff? You know, like there's little things that you know that for me.
How does he treat Teresa when he's mad?
Yes.
And they haven't gotten to that stage of their life yet. And that's the thing too, when you have money, there's no problems when you're dating. What are you going to fight about? There's no real life. I can't pay the mortgage. I can't. You're in bliss because there's no problems.
Yes, well, you don't have.
I will say I've seen couples that have money, and there are little things that like.
Well, look at Dr. Jen
and somebody says something.
Oh, we don't speak about that now. We speak after.
Then it's usually like a power imbalance or something,
or if let's say something comes out on your plate wrong, like if they're like, oh, and it's like, no, I ordered the chicken, not the beef, or whatever, you know, something that's not like.
Do they turn into Heather's mom? Remember Heather's mom?
Oh,
yes.
Versus Gina Kirschmeyer's mom.
You know,
that was the biggest problem of the night is that the table wasn't set correctly.
Like that's insanity.
But I actually
I wouldn't even know.
Won't say when something like if something is, and I'm saying like not even a picky thing, but like you know, they brought like something truly wrong that's not what she ordered.
Right.
She won't say anything because it pisses her husband off and he finds it embarrassing. So like those
she don't say anything.
A girlfriend of mine.
Okay.
And so I'm like, you know, so I get what you're saying, Michelle, but I think there are, you know, just because you have money, I think it glosses over some things, but I think that there are still situations where people that are controlling or there's
that's what I see with him
that happen that
controlling.
Yeah, that if you've dated at all, or if you have if you have even a medium sense of self-worth that you tend to pick up on. So I think
I think that people have problems. I just think they don't really face the average people that date because they're like Trisha's saying, they're in that romance phase, you know, or that 6th grade, you know, they're dating like googly. They're not dealing with like what average people are.
Well, I think everybody goes through a honeymoon phase, though.
Everybody goes through. I think it's true.
And I think
they. You guys think it's been like at this point? It's been over a year now. They bought they bought a house. They've been together a year. They bought a house. Honeymoon stage, you think is like, I don't know, maybe 6 months.
You can.
I just worry about when he loses his temper.
6 days for me, but Joe might.
But there's going to come a day, though. There's going to come a day where he loses his temper, and he strikes me as a very passionate man and a very immature man, especially emotionally immature. And
he feels like he's going to lose her. He's going to lose me.
Well, I'm just worried that he's not going to use his words effectively one of these days, and he's going to blow up, and that's going to be not good.
I had a question about, you know, Louis. What is he had real estate, you know, business. What is his job exactly? I don't understand what is the job of Louis.
Real estate and like that,
commercial.
like that that multi-level marketing MLM, kind of like what Jen, right? That Jen Shaw does.
MLM or lead generation?
Lead generation.
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, he does have a lead. He does have a not residential construction. The other one. Commercial construction.
I was gonna say I think he's in commercial.
Yeah.
And I have a relative that is a developer that's in commercial, and that was the highest real estate commission I ever made.
Oh my God. Have you ever? Yeah. When I was a loan officer.
Look, I'm like, thank God you're family and you want me to buy your new fancier house and sell your I already thought was fancy house, but you know, so great person, and you know, so you know, had to
coffee bus
deliver pizzas in college and took the long route to be able to pay for stuff, and you know, has worked his butt off. But yeah, I mean, that's a very lucrative.
That's what Joe Gorga does too.
But it's legal, or it's gonna be like when Whitney said in the last part of the reunion. It's a gray area of business.
The MLM part is.
But it's illegal. It's legal. It's in gray area. Maybe it can go to something bad after that. What's you know, the status of this situation is very strange for me, because it's got Jen said, I'm not doing illegal thing, and everybody said it's in gray area, gray zone of everything, and with the same zone of this business, it's a gray zone of this business. I don't know.
Well, I think there's lots of different regulations, both for MLM and for lead generation. Okay. And so I think that would be a whole other deep dive, and I don't know what his business is. And so I think, you know, for me, I'm going to just assume that, you know, until there is, well, I shouldn't say until, if there is some type of illegal activity, then that, you know, then that will come to fruition. I mean, the thing is, you know, those that have seen, I know, Trish, you watch Emily D. Baker, and Kristen, you do too. You know, she said, you know, she jokes about, you know, the IRS, you know, guys' wives watching and being like, "Ooh, hey, honey," did you know?
Like, so,
that was actually my husband. That was actually my husband when it was the very first season of New Jersey, and I don't even think Keith was a judge yet. He was still a trustee in bankruptcy, but he walked in, and you know, Teresa was like counting out $100 bills, and Keith looked at me and said he realizes that people in the IRS and their wives watch this show, right? And sure enough, you know, 3-4 years later, they're in the bankruptcy court and criminal court, and yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, Emily was the one that said that she, you know, she might be tempted to go back to hey Tess. Go back to law if she wants to be part of the Real Housewives unit. The Real Housewives unit or whatever, like just to be involved in that. But Teresa also said, like, I feel like they're both very fiery personalities, because when she's like, I'm going to protect you, and he looks at her like, I don't need you to protect me. Like, I think that they're both very, I mean, I feel like she has a very domineering.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when they lose their temper, you know, when they aren't in their love bubble and they have to deal with an actual issue. Let's say Gia and his son, you know, wind up duking it out over the bathroom, or, you know, and then it turns into, well, you're protecting your kids and you're not looking out for my kids.
What do you feel about her moving her daughters in with his teenage son? Do you think it's weird?
I mean, it happens. No, I mean, look at Adam. Look at Adam. He got moved into, you know, you'll have to ask him, right? Didn't he get moved into having
But don't you guys think people can change?
I'm sorry,
It
what?
depends.
People can change.
Yeah, to some degree. It depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
think you
think
can
people
change,
can
but
grow and
it's
learn, but there's a certain amount of a leopard not changing their spots.
Exactly. I mean, I can tell you that my sons are exactly the way at 18 and 19 that they were when they were 0 and 1. I'm not kidding. My first one was laid back and he's still chill. My second one was a pistol and he still is. It's, I think to a certain degree, people are who they are. I think Teresa is a fiery personality. I think Louis is the first, fiery personality. And it's going to be great when they're getting along and when they're having sex and all that. I just wonder, there will come a time where they get angry, and neither one of them strike me as very emotionally intelligent or
I
mature.
think it would be
and I just wonder how it's going to.
I think it'd be him running all over her.
It's going to be.
When
it's good, it's going to be great, and when it's bad, it's going to be terrible. And
that's
I think,
what I worry
Michelle,
about.
that's a really great question. Can people change? And I think when somebody wants to change and improve and do better, that's when that change comes. And I root for Teresa, but I feel like she has not changed in all of these years, even going to jail.
Oh yes.
What did she really do wrong, though?
I think she has. But that's just my opinion.
See, I feel like when I look back to like when Melissa came on the show, dug up stuff and tried to, have Melissa sound like a stripper. Whenever she and Joe were fighting, and she's like, "No, you're going to come over here behind this, in this vineyard, and we're going to have sex because I know that you're talking to your girl." And I'm going to assert, no, I'm the wife. Like different things that back when Jacqueline wanted to ask her stuff and she's like, "No, if you're my friend, you won't ask me this." And, gets up and, leaves the table. I feel like that in those, like, there are some ways in which she's changed, but I feel like in some of these substantial ways, like,
being old school and trusting her husband, or being demure around Louis,
but
Louis,
or just
like
being
she
that
was with her husband.
Love
blind, right? Exactly.
Love
like
blind
no
and being
prenup.
able to apologize and
right,
and take ownership. And I mean, because look at the rumors she was spreading about Evan, and then to not, like you said earlier, y'all said, not see the difference between, well, it's not that bad because it was a rumor, so there's nothing
not really true, so who cares?
But then when Kim D said the same thing about her husband, she had an aneurysm and screamed in her face and was getting ready to choke her. So.
Well, she also didn't understand the analogy.
Things to me, I haven't seen a significant. I mean, and this has been over many years. And then she's also had significant time to reflect, I would think, on certain things. And you watch, I just feel like that she hasn't had some really big growth moments or things where I see her do something differently.
I just disagree. Yeah. I think she's a warrior. I think she's strong. I can't imagine losing my parents. I mean,
if going to prison for a year is enough, and then losing
I don't disagree that. I think she is.
No, I'm just saying. She's tough. Not only that, she's kept food on the table. They're living in that beautiful house. She's supporting children. That's expensive. I only have one son, and it's so hard.
She's hustling.
She's a hustler, and I just have to give her props for what she's done. She stayed relevant to stay on TV and pay the bills, and she's paid her taxes. And
I was going to say, do you know what the taxes are on that property, guys?
you know
like $13,000.
I mean, just and then girls are so expensive. Getting their hair done, balayage, their nails done,
gymnastics,
the skincare.
Yeah, I don't disagree that she's a hard worker. She's a hustler. And I think
she is woman in love.
Understood what she needs to bring to the show from the beginning. But when you say, do you think that she's grown? Like from an emotional standpoint, no. I feel like she's understood the hustle that needs to happen.
Yes.
And I think that she is strong. As someone that lost my dad, then my mom, and then my grandmother within a 9-month period, and then had to go into COVID and not have anybody else in my home and be,
alone,
very isolated. I get how hard, some of those things are.
Yes.
So I'm not knocking her mental strength or her hustle. I guess what I'm knocking is her ability to own up to things, take responsibility, and just have some of that emotional intelligence and emotional growth that I would have liked to see her.
She's not a good reflector. She doesn't reflect back.
She's not a good model. Who she reminds me? Jennifer Lopez.
I wanted to ask you, Krista, when they showed the houses in Franklin Lakes, like, everyone in the morning doing their thing, are they literally that close together in the neighborhood?
What do you mean, like Teresa, Melissa, or what, the houses?
Yeah, like, are they that close together in the neighborhood?
Not anymore. No, because Teresa lives where Melissa and Joe used to live. Melissa and Joe live in a different county, but it's only still 15 minutes.
They moved to Bergen, right?
Yeah, Bergen County. And then Dolores's condo is right around the corner from her house, where Frank and the kids are. And then Jackie and Jennifer live in a completely different area. But their shore houses, all their shore houses. All right. So when you see them going over, so Tom's River is not that far from the shore part. So when you see them going over, like you see it at Horseshoe when they go over Tom's River, they go to the shore part of Tom's River.
Yes.
That Horseshoe is all where their houses are. So they're that close there, but it's nothing like that here.
It's like a drone shot.
Yeah. Basically.
They are not very so near them. You know who she remind me?
But listen, they're all 15 minutes. They're 15 within 15 minutes. So
okay. Oh, well, it's not near.
Everything in Jersey is so close.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I can't believe that I can drive to freaking Disney World, and then that's only the state across the state of fucking Texas. She's like, it takes 18 hours across Texas. Like, it takes me 18 hours to get to Disney. Like, that's across the country for me. Like Jersey, I could probably walk it in like a marathon, honestly. They've had people go from New York to Atlantic City, so.
Oh, yes. It's really
I would drive to see my half-brother in D.C. I was like, it was basically an hour per state.
Yeah. Like an Uber drive from Cape May to City Winery was only $164. An Uber trip. Yeah.
But about Teresa, she reminds me of Jennifer Lopez in some way, because Jennifer Lopez it's a hustler in her field, but in love, she had so much problem with all these men, but she loved love. And
she does love.
Yes, it's in French it's calling une femme amoureuse. It's a woman in love. She needs love to be a motive for her life, and it's sad because what I said about Teresa, about jail, you go in jail because of this love, this denial, this blindness, this everything, and you don't take your lesson. But she is hustler, she is strong woman, she does a job, but when love is coming, she's melting, like chocolate.
I'm curious, like, I know they both bought that house together, but I'm kind of curious, like, how much she put down compared to what he put. I could find out, but I'd have to ask that bitch. But.
Did you see the live of Fire and Femme Tarot? She make about Real Housewives of New Jersey, about she make her tarot reading with about the story of Luis and Teresa, and she said they don't go in the wedding, and I say she wants to have her wedding in summer. Do you think she? Not this summer, I don't think. Yeah, but she went to go to film the wedding. She wait to have. I don't think they're going to get married anytime soon. Yes.
Well, they got engaged in October, so
but I just don't think she's in a rush to get married. I don't.
She said what happened live. She said it's for the summer, and she said she doesn't take Melissa in bridesmaid.
Oh, right. She's going to have 8 bridesmaids, and Melissa's not going to be one of them.
What?
Yeah,
yes,
I think
I gotta watch it. I still haven't watched
Adam or somebody reported on that, but she also is going to do it on the show if she gets her own spinoff. Was the
only
other
if she gets a spinoff, right?
that I heard. So
yeah, she said you don't get. She told Bravo they don't get to tape it unless she gets her own spinoff.
Well, she's smart.
She wants a spin-off, do you think?
So like I said,
she wants a spin-off for the wedding. She wants a spin-off for the wedding. Yeah.
Can you think of any other housewife that's as iconic as her? That's not one of them's off the show already.
She is iconic for me. She's iconic. You know, when you think housewife, I think her with the table. I think her with she's iconic because she goes to jail. Hi, Philly Diva.
Hello.
She goes to jail with sympathy by the people. She goes to jail. She was guilty, but people are with her because we knew she was a victim. Hi, Philly Diva.
Hi, Philly Diva.
I'm like you, Trish. I need my glasses.
I know.
I can't see with the.
Yeah, I have my icon on today because I am a mess hiding from my daughter in the bathroom. So, you parents out there, you get it. Sometimes the only piece you have.
I don't have kids. I am free, guys. I'm free.
I miss for the cat.
I hope to have cat. I hope to have not cat, but a dog. I hope to have dog.
So I'm just
any Jersey stuff to add since
Yeah.
We started off talking about Melissa's daughter, right?
Yeah. Just switching schools, yeah.
Melissa's daughter. Okay, so I've been that girl who had a sports injury and have had to move, along with the teenage angst and kind of challenging my mom at the same time. So I really felt for her in that moment.
Yes.
But at the same time, now that I'm a parent, baby, if we have to move, then we have to move. Like, especially with the way the retail.
I don't think I'd force her. I don't think I'd force her to have a 16, sweet 16, because I didn't get to have one. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's like I didn't get to have a party, so I'm going to make you have a party.
We do that as parents. I know my daughter's first birthday. I don't know why I threw her such a big birthday. Like, that was unnecessary. But it's just a weird thing that we do. And I think she was doing the only thing in her not insulting way, in her shallow 16-year-old mind that would make her daughter feel better. You know what I mean? Like, she was grasping at straws because we're not moving back. You're not the only thing you can do is have a party for your new friends and your old friends. I'm sorry that you can't cheer. I'm trying to get you back. Like, she literally is doing everything that she could possibly do to help her daughter, but her daughter's not seeing it that way because
she ain't feeling her. She's like, ain't feeling none of that. She's like,
she wants her mom to back off.
Leave me alone.
Right? She just wants her mom to back off.
She wants to back off, and it's Melissa. She doesn't know how to back off. Like, she goes from 0 to 10, and she does it in everything, whether it's good or bad.
Ultimate cheer mom, football mom, cheer mom.
Yeah,
she's all right, which is cool because somebody's got to do it out there because it ain't me.
Can't you all agree that kids these days are not raised the way we were raised?
Oh my God, yes.
Even if I was unhappy with, like, when she was like, no, I don't want those kinds of eggs. She's like, you don't want scrambled. I was like at first she was, I want the ham. And then I was like,
Miller ham.
I know that I probably sounded like a bratty bitch too. I own this. I probably did. But I was just like, oh, kid, no, I made you your breakfast. I don't care if you don't like these scrambled eggs. Like, there was just a certain amount. Like, I was just like, oh, you're trying my patience, and you're not even like.
And just remember, she's also a teenager, so she's pushing those boundaries. Like she's a teenager, she can't.
She had a boyfriend too. She had a boyfriend.
Like it's I don't want to say I'm really on the kid side, but probably because I've been in her shoes.
Yeah,
I get it. Like I've literally been in both of them.
It's so hard to be the new kid.
It's hard. But Melissa is still always going to be a pain in my ass. I don't know why, but she just annoys the sugar honey iced tea out of me. Like I just
the one who calls the paparazzi makes it a goddamn mess around here.
Oh my god! Like I
Melissa, I felt bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I'll just be happy that I actually got fed. Like compared to my mom, like at one point it was like me and my brother's like fault too, because like we just didn't do the dishes like after my mom would cook for us. And then at one point she was just like, I think I was 15 or 15 going on 16. And then I always just, like add my excuse to my mom saying like, hey, I have so many EP assignments. I can't deal with this right now. And then my brothers just didn't really do it. And then my mom at one point was just like, if you guys don't do the dishes, I just won't cook for any of you anymore. And then it was like, well, you're our mother. Like you're not gonna do that.
We were just like, my mom just went to Aldi, got there was like a bunch of teenagers in the house. So she'd get like whatever was like a bulk stuff, like ramen noodles or like these Jimmy Dean sausage things. Like we had
my mom did not cook. She only cooked for herself. She only did groceries for herself. My dad was also a victim, so we all had to fend for ourselves. Like my mom only started cooking again until my oldest brother actually brought his now wife into like our place, and then like my mom was teaching my sister-in-law like how to cook. But like for the longest time, when I graduated, like when I graduated high school, like she was still not cooking for any of us. Like she was teaching us a lot.
She was really teaching a long lesson. Is this why you order out a lot, Joe? Is this why you're always getting food delivered and stuff? Is this why you don't cook?
No, I actually am a pretty decent cook. I just don't like the prep and like the cleanup afterwards. That's why I just prefer to like get the food delivered. It's already.
I have a mom like that, Joe. That's very selfish. Doesn't will feed herself before she feeds her kids. I don't understand
I think my mom is just like one of those really like, because to her benefit, she gave us fair warning. Like
she did say clean up your shit or you ain't getting fed.
Yeah, she was literally telling us this for 2 weeks, and then we're just like, nah, you're not gonna, you are our mother. You're going to feed us, but no.
Yeah.
My mom's just nuts. Like she comes here and literally like my house is clean anyway, but like it's my everything's done. Like when they lived at the shore, they would come here. When they would come up here, they would stay here, and she would just do everything. But like I don't know where that woman came from. It's like I don't even know.
But I do kind of feel.
I'm like, where did you come from?
I do kind of feel for Antonia a little bit. My story was a little bit more extreme since I actually moved countries when I was 14.
Oh crap!
So yeah, so like.
Wait, Joe, you did?
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
My entire family and I came from the Philippines.
Oh, cool.
And then we all moved to Virginia. Yeah, so I thought I already had my life figured out 14.
Wait, and you were 14?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how old I was. That's how old I was when I flew from LA into Roanoke. It was 2 weeks before my 14th birthday.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah.
Yeah, so like I thought I had my life figured out there, and I was like, I was gonna go marry my best friend, who is a girl. I know, weird, right?
Very.
I know.
Literally, was it Was
Joe,
there more pressure
love,
to marry?
love don't have a shape. Love is the love.
Yeah, but did you know? Did you know that you were into?
Girl, I was so closeted. I was actually.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, that was.
So you were gonna get married to a woman in the Philippines.
No, but I actually felt like love for that girl, but she was also my best friend.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, I thought I had my life figured out. I resented my mom for like a good, I don't know, for like a good while as a teenager. So I'm just like, like you pretty much you uprooted all of us.
Yeah,
that's a whole life. That's a whole life.
No, but I mean, like parents do what they gotta do, and
right.
At some point, I got over it.
In some way, but sometimes when I'm thinking about my mother and me, she was who she was and with her story. But sometimes you need some, compassion and empathy by your mother. And when I see Melissa, she was sometimes so, tough with her girls. Okay, you don't have a choice, but yes, just listen to me. Just listen what I want to say, not to make your decision about that, but just to say, Mom, I'm sad about everything. Just listen to me, and I see that in some way,
Yeah.
It's not to. I'm sorry, she doesn't want to be tough with her mother, but she wants to say, Mom, just listen to me. And you know what I do comparison with Jennifer and her girls, when she make boxes, sports moments, because she say, oh, I was so in my husband and my nose job and everything like that. I don't see my little girl. She was, overweight. It's everything like that.
But but at the end of the day, I think Melissa has, good intentions, but I think she's also just projecting her childhood trauma to how she thinks this situation should be handled, and and the way kids are brought up now, and and the way they're exposed to things, like they're a little bit more independent than what we may have been used to be. That they feel like they could. Like if Antonia is actually saying, I don't need a big party, like, listen.
Yeah, why have one?
Yeah. Wait, did Jennifer say something about her daughter's weight?
Yes, with Jennifer.
Did Jennifer say something?
She did.
because she goes to the doctor to see for her girls because she was overweight, and she was no gluten. It's gluten free, diet. She does boxing lesson with her and Dolores, and she kickboxing. I'm sorry, it's kickboxing lesson. She go to sports to gym with her to make her in better health, and she tried to refocus with her child, not just her husband, or all the mess and the nurse job and everything like that. And I see maybe Jennifer, she tried to make a focus on her family now.
Yeah.
Good.
I
don't see Jennifer being the kind of mom that like makes her daughter ashamed of her weight.
No, it's not to be ashamed, but just to take care about her health.
Healthy habits. Like she's problem starting.
You can see her daughter is losing weight, don't you think? She's starting to get taller, and she's like, I think her daughter looks like she's thinning out.
I think some of it
is her baby weight, right? It's her baby weight.
But maybe because she had, a gut problem and blood problem with her digestion, she tried to see it. Maybe it's a gluten problem, everything like that. She tried to make her daughter with good health, but not with a shameful about her body. It's different from me.
That I saw it on the episode. It was more of, hey, let's do this as a family.
Yeah,
let's all work out. Let's all get healthy together.
But you guys are talking about the teenager, not the little baby, the 8-year-old girl.
No, the teenager. The
teenager.
The teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think.
Oh my God, Michelle, are you drinking like soda from Raising Cane's?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, it is from. Yes, it is a cup from Raising Cane's, but not soda. It's water.
Oh my
Ooh,
god,
Michelle,
I love
yesterday,
it.
or not the day before. I was like, "This is a Raising Cane's girl."
You know what?
What is Raising Cane's?
Yeah, what's that? We're like,
it's a chicken
Yeah,
place.
it's just a chicken.
It's a chicken place.
Chicken,
Oh.
chicken.
Oh, like that where
They
you
have
guys
one.
are from?
They have one in Richmond. They have one in Charlottesville too. Trish.
I'm a vegetarian, so I don't.
Nope.
I generally am a vegetarian too, but sometimes I get a little chicken.
I'm nowhere near a
Chicken is so
vegetarian.
good,
I
you
won't
know.
lie to y'all, but
I'm not vegetarian. I just don't like meat anymore. It's just too
You
heavy.
know, when I was
I've never liked.
when I was gone in New York in my
Nothing with a bone or a vein or nothing.
Oh God, that makes me gag. I
Sorry.
mean, that's actually, it was
I love
wings that
chicken.
actually was like one of the final straws for me. Is my mom made lemon wings, and I remember pulling apart the bones and the ligaments and the veins, and just
Oh
you
no,
know,
I love
I have to eat
seeing the little
sausage.
hair. I was like,
just
no,
don't
I'm
like
out.
food. I can't.
And
I
then
gotta
those
eat
things,
Never
you know, where you
tried
chew.
Filipino chicken
Oh,
adobo.
it's so good. It's so good. I tried it in France, in Paris. It's so good.
I can cook it. I'm just
Oh,
too
guys, and Korean chicken too.
okay, Joe.
Yeah.
I
just
just
like,
and I'm like,
I cook meat for my family, but
you know, I am in
silly.
my diet.
We should definitely do a
because
cooking night in New York.
because I need
One night.
to.
Have Joe cook for us.
I try to lose some pounds, but tonight I eat a brioche with big chunk of protein in, and just my diet is died now. I want to eat chicken. It's you. It's you, Michelle. It's you. It's you. I want to eat chicken.
It's true.
And we all know that Coffee Buzz loves meat. Like
I was about to just say, you guys are horrible. I miss.
Coffee Buzz is a good time. I cannot wait.
I have to catch up. I have to catch up on your.
She
I
loves
love meat.
and juicy
I
meat.
love meat. I love meat.
Now,
I'm
do you
sorry.
just love the tip Coffee Buzz, or do you go in and get some TMJ?
She wants some good sauce with that meat too.
It's like fading in and out. I can't even get the fully pop up Coffee Buzz. Sorry.
Oh my God.
We love you, Coffee Buzz. We love you.
I was gonna mention. I feel like Melissa doesn't know what to do for her daughter. Like when she was at the pool, and she was like, she's going through all this stuff, and it's a lot, and I get it, but I feel, and they were like, so. She's like, but she just stays in the room. She's like kind of depressed, and she was like, yeah. So, I guess if I feel like there are certain things that I wish my parents did differently, probably just like all of y'all, and the thing is, parents do the best they can, and we do the best we can. But I do.
Honestly, I don't know why she just doesn't put her in therapy with all these changes that she has.
Because maybe it's not.
You know what? If it were up to me, I would just be like, here, everybody, here, like find a therapist. I feel like in general, sometimes it like, and for me, after losing everybody, it was a lot of, there were different emotions with different people. One expected, one not expected, one, lived till 93 and had a wonderful life. And, but then they were all back to back, like May, my dad, October, my mom, February, my grandmother. And so there wasn't even really time to process before the next one, went the whole, see, I knew Coffee Buzz, it'd be the tip and all. So it's turning into anchor watch in here. Sorry.
I know.
I mean, there are some things that I figured out and some boundaries that I drew for myself with other people.
Yes.
That have made a difference in other relationships, and some of those relationships have ceased or have changed, but it's made me feel better, honestly. I don't, because now I have a boundary. I'm like, you're not going to make me feel like crap, and just because you're my, related to me by blood doesn't mean that,
you have to do the right to
that I have to hear some of that. So, but I also think too, being on TV, all these kids really, I mean, to have your parents' whole life put out there for your parents to get drunk and fall face down.
You see the daughter
and then throw up in in the dad's car, and all the other kids at school see this. And for me, that's a lot. And I would want something there for my kids besides me, because, are they always going to feel comfortable saying, you're acting like an idiot and you have embarrassed me? A lot of them probably will say that, but I mean, like, having them the tools to cope with it, and a neutral third party can certainly help with that. I mean, to see your parents go off to jail, or to have your friends see your home raided, like on Salt Lake, and your mom do these things and throw glasses and
act a fool.
You see, Sarah, the daughter of Lisa Rinna, she goes to rehab. She said it's the fault of my parents. She said very, things. And the son of Tamra, the state of this son. We don't speak about the daughter.
Ryan.
Yes, Ryan the first. And you have Vicky with her daughter, when I don't remember the daughter name, but Vicky with the broke gate, everything like that. She was just insane.
Right.
You see so much. And in Miami, with the kids of Alexia, it's Alexia, the kids.
Oh, right.
Yes, with domestic violence. And you have other Real Housewives. We have the daughter she was meth addict. You have so much kid with, maybe so much trouble now. It's just I think it's on the shoulder of this kid, it's very heavy. It's heavy. We see consequences now when they are older.
Well, and social media, I mean, I can't imagine being a kid with social media now. I mean, back in the olden days when
I'm so grateful.
I would have killed myself.
I think if we have the same,
I mean, you went home and Oprah came on at 4:00, and if you had General Hospital recorded, you watched it beforehand if you got a chance. If not, you caught up on the weekend. Like,
we have a freedom
at dinner, you did your homework. If you were fancy, you had call waiting. Like,
yes,
three-way.
Yeah,
three-way
calling, and I mean, it was just a different. You weren't constantly with your peers that were judging you like you were at school, and
you don't have someone with an iPhone or smartphone to make
you weren't showing off everything you had.
Yeah,
to just take you with the camera, take your video about you when you don't know. All this million of paparazzi with this phone. TMZ said with this phone in Instagram, everything like that, her paparazzi job is just down. But it's true. You can to have your privacy now. It's very complicated for these kids and for all these stars. I don't want to be in this place, because it's just insane. You don't have any peace, or just tranquility to go in the supermarket and take something. It's just insane. You don't have this possibility to be alone.
I mean, and sometimes kind of Philly Diva, you were like, people were showing off at school, but now you've got a certain amount of I feel like there are certain couples I know that since y'all have me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, I don't have time for Facebook anymore, and I can't do all these. Like, I'm old, I work, But definitely don't. I have a Snapchat account, but don't ask me to do anything on it. I don't know how.
Oh my gosh! Can I just tell you guys, being a single mom, how many foreign men contact me with fake profiles that pretend to be, not like just even themselves, that pretend to be. I had 2 guys just today pretended to be from California with us, like, that were Caucasian. They would not answer the phone on Instagram. It was a total catfish account. I can't tell you how many times I get contacted from guys that make up these stories.
Oh my gosh.
That they're American. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody that isn't American. I'm just saying that have these fake profiles that are contacting women they see that are single as a single parent. It's ridiculous.
It's just insane. It's very scamming. Do you know what? Are you ready? What I say? I was scammed by 2 past 3 guys, 2 in TikTok and 1 Instagram. They said, "Yes, hello, I'm Henri Cavill and just want to speak with you." I said, guys, they use the photo of Henri Cavill to try to scam me and say we have love story, send me money. And say, I don't know you. It say I'm Henri Cavill. I just go to TikTok to just block them and say, yeah, TikTok, we have scammers. And they come to me and say, yes, I'm Henri Cavill for the Superman movie. I want to have something with you. I say, I don't know you guys. I don't know. You are not the real Henri Cavill. Just a scam. Just insane. And they came and you have so much guy like that.
Yeah, I didn't mean to bring that up to take away from the subject. I was just so shocked that it happened to me twice today.
Twice? Oh my God.
They're passing your number around.
Yeah, literally. It's annoying me. It's annoying the fuck out of me.
But where did they find your profile? They make your research?
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Sarah, you brought up Instagram and Facebook and all that. So that's why I said that. That's right.
Oh, no, I think, what I was going to say is, I mean, I see couples that, a couple specific ones that when they always post like, we're so in love, we're so happy, and I'm like, okay, a relationship goals / I know who you are well enough to know that you're not going to, it would be like Teresa, like she's not going to put anything up there that's not like,
oh, Dr. J.
We're awesome, and so I think
today
that
we had a fight. Today we had a fight. I cried my eyes out. Yeah, nothing like that.
Yeah. I said, do these jeans make me look fat? And he was like, yeah, a little bit. And it's like, or stuff that's small that like you're like, no, you're not supposed to say that, but yes, I want the truth, but no, like in a loving way. And they're like, how do I do that? Like
sometimes it's just insane.
So it's just, stuff like that where, then people start to feel like my life isn't the same. So, so I think, that just adds a lot for people and, kids and all that. But to kind of loop it back to, I think Jennifer Aiden was definitely one of those people. And it really, I don't know if anybody else caught this wording, but she said about, talking about going to therapy with Bill, that Bill said he was worried that it would open Pandora's box and they wouldn't
He's done it before. Yeah, I think he's cheated before. I think he's worried about more bones flying out of his
do you think,
skeletons.
Do you think the skeleton can be stay in the closet with a TV show like that?
And do you guys think
it's
very cultural?
I think those kinds of things always
cultural for them.
So
maybe.
So from now, I didn't grow up kind of fully Middle Eastern, but my dad came to this country when he was 9. they had to flee.
From where?
They had to flee Palestine when it was becoming Israel.
Oh, I see. I know that it's very hard for these people.
Yes. So, and then I think there's a lot of history that that some folks aren't necessarily aware of with that, because that was already a land, that the homes were built, people were there, so forth. So if you had a second home that was maybe your vacation home got taken. That had to go to the Israelis. Because of the fighting that started to occur, they fled, because my dad was born the day before the name got changed to Israel. They fled, and so then their home got taken over, and when they tried to go back, they had to live with his older brother. I'm sorry, my grandfather's older brother. Anyway, all this stuff, and also they are or were Greek Orthodox Catholic, which was a less prevalent religion. I mean, a lot were Muslim, but not everybody.
Yes, we have this melting pot.
Yeah, so I know you probably know. So as far as like from and then there was some Turkish war stuff that happened, like with my great grandfather. Anyway, so bottom line on all of that was just they came over when my dad was 9 with barely anything to their name. And so I would say, some of the things of the way like my grandmother and grandfather were with my dad and his brothers and sister, were very traditional. But all of them married that was either American, or one of my uncles married someone that was Filipino, and they actually were the most traditional of them, because my Aunt Nora was a very traditional, came from that very traditional mindset as well. My mom and dad were hippies, so I think they were probably more comfortable talking about sex or whatever than like my sister and I were like, no, we don't. No, it's okay. I think that part was different, but I remember like my grandmother's older brother, like they were translating, and I think I was in my like early 30s, and he was like, she's not married yet? Well, I'll find her a husband. I was like, and so my Aunt Barbara was translating. She's one of the few that
she speak Arabic
language with Arabic. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Arabic.
So she was laughing, and she told me what he said. And I was like, oh, is he going to find me a nice guy? And she started laughing, and she shook her head. She said, no, he thinks that you should marry and take care of one of his 90-year-old friends. Like, that's the old tradition. Like that would be the traditional thing. And so my dad never talked much about the past, but my aunt talked. She lives in the DC area now, and she was saying, because there were 3 that lived together. She's like, your Auntie Lydia was told she had to take care of Uncle Yes and Uncle Maurice. So Auntie Lydia, who was proposed to, never got married, never accepted a proposal, because she was taught by her mom, this is what you need to learn. And even though they moved here, she cooked for them, she cleaned for them. Like,
yeah, she was wow. It's in Arabic family, you have maybe one daughter. She was to be a servant for in the whole time. I say in the whole time. Not now, but it's very traditionalish. You have one daughter. She doesn't have the right to have wedding,
correct,
or to have a marriage, because she needs to take care of everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hi Erin.
Hi Erin.
And so my grandmother actually was able to go to
wedding,
to school because of I think there were 11 kids, like one came from 12 and one came from 11, like huge families. But come here, because everybody else had kind of already been assigned different things, and you also kind of were like, this is what your role is, you know, or you're going to learn this trade, you're going to do this and that, and it was kind of like you're set up for those things. Yes. So when I hear some of the things that Jennifer says, it's very odd to me in one aspect, because that's not at all how like my aunt and uncles were with the kids. But there is a little bit of a joke of, well, that's the firstborn Arabic son syndrome, which is probably similar to a lot of other like Italian potentially.
Golden child. It's a golden child.
Yes, the golden child. And and it doesn't matter if there were 5 girls first, that's the boy. And
right.
The boys.
So, the thing about, if he's cheating, and even if it's part of the culture, the idea is if you cheat, just make sure you keep it on the DL, because if it comes out and it embarrasses me, then that's a whole nother situation. So I suspect that we're going to find out more, some other things. Look at the kitty cat. Is that Judgy Cat?
That's Judgy Cat.
I love the kitty cat.
I just had a question.
I wonder if it's a lack of love versus a, like, I respect you, I felt like you would make a good wife.
Right. And a good mother.
And a good
mother. You can love somebody, but that's like, I can still see how he would get turned on by some young drug rep coming in and taking him out to lunch and trying to sell him whatever drugs that she's pushing. And, and it's as old as the Bible, stories of men, but again, you got to have a deal. It's like, I'll look the other way because I don't want to jeopardize my lifestyle and my family unit and this whole deal. Well, that too. But I what I'm saying is, the wife, she's saying, look, I'll look the other way, but don't make a fool out of me. You got to keep it on the down low, because if you're running around town and people are seeing you with the drug rep, then you're making a fool out of me, and I'm not down for that. It's bad enough that you're cheating, but you're cheating and it's getting out and it's making me look bad. That's a problem.
Yeah, I wonder if when she said she didn't tell her sisters, her brother, her family.
It's shameful. She's shameful.
But the other folks like Margaret and that kind of thing, they were all like, yeah, we've heard it. So I was really
maybe
curious.
The family knew.
I was like,
for her.
So did your
they
family
knew, but
did nothing get back to them?
They knew.
That wouldn't surprise me if they knew and they just didn't say anything.
They knew and they say anything, because Maine, I think there are Turkish men in Muslim culture. You can go other way, but everybody knew, but they don't say anything because you are men. Because if Jennifer she's go with another man, she was crucified in the place, and it's like that because she touched of this pride of this ego of her husband, and she said it's gonna be yes, you don't have enough man to me. It's like it's the translation is that, and I think for Jennifer I see in some comments in other other vlogger, they said it's contractual wedding to them. They don't love in the first place. It's it's like that, like in India or Muslim country. It's
the marriage that was set up, it was a prearranged marriage, but that's not exactly true because she was set up to marry some other guy that she saw and was like, oh heck no. And then she apparently saw Bill Aiden and said, now that guy, if you could get me, with that guy, I'd marry him. And he apparently thought the same thing. But it's still semi-arranged. And I can totally see where, again, they might have a love for each other. It might be a genuine love for each other. And they've built a life, a very happy life and a happy family. And they take care of their kids and they take care of her folks and all this other stuff. And probably neither one of them want to mess that up. But at the same time, if you're going to cheat, you got to keep it on the down low. But, in Virginia, it's so old school here that if a woman is caught cheating, well, it actually applies both ways, but because usually the man is the wage earner, it tends to work against a woman in most instances. But if there's infidelity, if a woman is cheating on her husband and he divorces her because of it, that can be grounds to not award her any alimony. So it's not automatic, but it can be grounds to say, look, she cheated on me. And, she doesn't deserve, I'll give her the divorce, but she doesn't deserve any alimony. And I was, yikes, that's pretty harsh. So,
do you think the wedding of Jennifer and Bill is going to be last, is going to be finished, is going to be in divorce? Because she was just, when I see her.
No.
I think they're too old.
I think that they're happy. Yeah, I think they're, like I said, I think that they're both happy. They might even love each other or have grown to love each other. I think they love their life together. I think they love their home and their family. And I think unless he continues to disrespect her or she feels like, he's disrespecting her, then she might leave. But I think that, the only way I could see them getting divorced is if they do one of those vow renewals, because that's like the kiss of death on the Housewives. You do a vow renewal, and then the next thing you know, it's they're gone.
Look how crazy this one is.
Aww.
Cute. She's trying to get to her bed.
Yeah, no, I feel like I agree, Trish, that they love their life and that kind of thing, but I think that they also are so old school that it doesn't, at least at this point. I mean, for Jennifer to push down,
it's not
how
real.
she felt for 10 years.
It's not real.
And I think some of that's coming out in the way that she's getting so much plastic surgery. And
and also seeing yourself on TV, that's got to be harsh.
Yeah,
you see,
and there are so many awful trolls who come after people and say just awful things. So if you don't have a really strong sense of self, I could see where that would make you,
I think even with a strong sense of self, I mean, I try not to look at myself on this thing because I'm like, well, I need to change my angle. I need to have my, this higher, lower, the light better, whatever. So whenever Krista's flicking us around and we keep moving, I'm like, stop. I have a spot or two where I'm looking. I'm trying to avoid.
Well, if she was that crazy, I got to show everybody how nuts she is.
But,
she's cute. She's cute.
But yeah, I mean, I do think somewhat similar. So I've been to India twice for a month each and gotten to know some of the folks really well there that I used to work with. And hearing their explanations of an arranged marriage where it's like they still go and meet the person and they see if they feel like they're going to be a good fit and they can be attracted, and then they then they're engaged. Well, also they do the whole astrology thing.
Yes, it's very important to them.
Yeah. And then, and then in the way they start to date, kind of the way that, you kind of almost backwards from us, where we would date and be like, I think this is going to work out and be a good partner. They're kind of like, you know, do we look at things the same way? Are our families going to get along? Different things like that.
Well, it's interesting. If you look at the rate of success, I think they've shown the success rate for arranged marriages is just as good, if not better, than love marriages.
Yes, in India. You see in Netflix, they have a show with this young Indian. I see maybe the last summer, and you have this wedding woman. She tried to make them in love. It's very interesting because the astral team in Indian astrology, it can make a break a wedding and you go to divorce, like a movie star in India. She do that because the astral team with her and her husband is not good, and she go to divorce. We like that.
Yeah, what was that? What was the name of that show? House of Krishna or something?
I don't know, but it was in Netflix. I see Netflix.
Yeah.
You have this
Netflix. I was thinking of the Bravo. What was that Bravo show?
The Bravo is Family Karma.
Family Karma.
Yes, I can't wait for that. But the Netflix show is like Indian matchmaking or something like that.
Yes, Indian matchmaking. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It is, and it's I can very well see how because I can see how it works out either to have like equally, success or even greater success to a certain extent. Because
I'm going to bed. Bye bye.
Au revoir. Good night. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
My French is terrible. Luckily, I'm in Texas, so Spanish is the way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, you're going in with the idea of we both want to get married, or most times it's you're of a certain age and your parents want you to get married.
Right.
But then you also are going in. I feel like I see some of my friends going into relationships that there's lust, there's happiness. I'm sorry, Joe, we're not letting you talk at all.
No, I'm just listening to all this wisdom.
Well, I'll just finish this thought and then you can tell us your thoughts on everything we've said, which was a lot. So just that some of my friends go in and they're in their love bubble and they have the lust and the bubble and everything's great, and then things get hard and they're like, you know what, nope, you must not be the right one, this isn't for me. And
they're
and
too quick to bail.
Yes. And the thing is that, I mean, it's gonna be hard. There are going to be hard days. There are going to be hard months. There are going to be hard years. There are going to be great times as well. But I feel like that kind of when you've gone in with we're going to make this work no matter what, which I feel like some, kind of love marriage, more, Western marriages do, then people put in the work. But I feel like in some of the Eastern type arranged marriages, they
don't get the option, the marry, kill, shag. Marry option.
Well, I mean,
they've made the commitment and they're not
somebody that they're connected to. And you know what? Maybe it isn't, somebody that they, lust after or whatever, but it's somebody they feel like they can build
make a good home.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like
that's how the Aidens were, I think.
Huh?
What?
I think that's what she saw with Bill Aiden, though. Yeah. Like he was a decent man, a good-looking man, a working man, a family man, and somebody she could possibly fall.
And a doctor.
A doctor. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to be set up with that guy?
Yeah. Well, and I feel like Emily kind of almost took the same approach, maybe.
Yeah. Shane was
had such a chaotic childhood from OC.
Exactly. And
so
her husband sent her an email saying, "What do you think about getting married?"
Yep. Yeah. Like, why not?
And I'll be honest, I have liked Emily from the beginning. Everybody's like, "You're crazy." I'm like, I appreciate some of her stories that, you know, things were hard with her mom or her life when she was younger. And then also I was very intrigued by this marriage that seemed like they were polar opposites, but you know, and you know, he seemed like a jerk, but then at reunions people would be like, actually he's really nice, you know. And so
and she's so grateful to have that stability that, you know, unless he lights her on fire, she's gonna, you know, she's gonna stay with him, one presumes, because he's got the stability, not only himself, but that Mormon family stability. You
He's
know,
very loyal. He's probably loyal to the end. Like they, like, you know, they stay married for life.
Yeah.
And,
so I think, I think
more,
that's what she sees in him.
And I think more importantly, at least in Emily's situation, knowing her history with her father, that, you know, she felt abandoned her, like seeing Shane as somebody who is a present husband and a present father,
right?
Kids is definitely something that, oh, I never had this as a kid. So
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, because you know, like every situation is different. Obviously, I'm not married, but like it's one of those things where I think different cultures and different upbringings kind of inform how we view like marriage or long-term relationships in general. Because yeah, I think having been raised like in Asia, like in the Philippines, divorce is illegal. Like you can get annulled, but at that point, like if the marriage really just doesn't work, people will still cheat. They just don't really have a recourse to get out of it. And you know, and some women stay because they like, where would they go? They have
Exactly. Where else are you gonna go?
exactly. So, and then you know, and then here in the Western world, like with everything else that we have here, there is that concept of convenience, right? Like, hey, we have all of these protections in place. Like, if it doesn't work, then quit that bitch. Like, quit that marriage. So you know, it really takes a combination of, you know, the commitment and the self understanding that when you're going into this marriage, it's not just about the warm and fuzzies and the, you know, and the love, sometimes romantic love and infatuation that most likely fades, but then it's also the commitment and the dedication to actually work something out. But I don't think a lot of the people that do get married know that concept, and that's why, like, I'm a firm believer of like people that actually do premarital counseling and actually taking it seriously, not just like taking it off, like checking off the box. Because there are some people, it's like, oh yeah, I've taken it, but it didn't really work. And in some situations, it might really just not work. But maybe people don't really put in the work to make sure that, you know, they know and, you know, are very sure of their non-negotiables in a marriage.
Exactly.
100%.
We have some of the questions that, depending on how long you've been dating or if you've lived together or different things like that, that you may not, you know, you may not even realize is an issue. You know, how you handle.
People
People
communicate
fight about money all the time. How
people communicate so differently. Like, it's not one person's not wrong because they communicate differently than somebody else. And if a mutual party can teach you how to communicate together, so you're not crossing wire, or like, because mostly you always have the same end goal anyway, but you're just not hearing each other. You're not getting to your point. So like,
just don't do the bros though, because they're unrelated.
No, I don't need their input on my
yeah. So, I mean,
house.
yeah, you may handle some things differently, and so you need to kind of go in with the, okay, what's our strategy on how we're going to handle this, or what is, you know, I mean, the thing with Dr. Jen and her husband is I feel like they don't share the same love languages at all.
Not at all.
And I mean,
and
I don't know if they're polar opposite love languages, but if so, they have them. Like, it's just, you know, I feel like from the things I've seen, it's not that one doesn't care about the other. I think what we're seeing at this point is where you're so frustrated with the other that it's kind of, there's not much grace given, you know, by either one.
He doesn't like being on camera either with his feelings.
Yeah,
and she knows that, and her pushing him to talk on camera just makes him look like an asshole because he's like, I don't want to do
this.
And
then you're like, well, why the hell did y'all sign up for this show or not?
Women sign up, not the men, really.
I wonder if Jen signed up for the thing without Ryan's blessing. Like, we're gonna do this,
like Noella.
I don't know, but I mean, I feel like there's the relationships that you build with folks. Like, I have a friend and she and I have the same primary love language, and then, you know, kind of like we could flip-flop on the other two, but I can call her and she can, you know, or she can call me and be like, what? I saw you were laughing. Did somebody?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but like whenever she calls and is like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what my husband did, I immediately understand, like, well, why didn't he do this? Like, because we both think of it the same way or look at that. And then it's like, okay, you know, and so it's those types of things where you have to be able to communicate to somebody else, this is what I need from you in order for me to feel heard or appreciated or understood. And, you know, and the other person has to be able to receive that. And that's where some of those things, like when I say I don't feel like Teresa's necessarily grown, is being able to communicate, like to her brother, even like he says, you know, I want you to you know, not that he's the biggest, you know, the best example for emotional intelligence or communication.
No, but she's an emotional infant. I mean, clearly she is an emotional infant. And the fact that, you know, she demands loyalty, but she doesn't know how to give it. And it's just crazy. You know, she's not very bright either.
Yeah, and she can't seem to understand when he's like, but do you see how this woman calling me a crook, you know, makes me feel, hurts my business? Like, and I don't think she meant it in a bad way. I was like, so I will be honest, I feel like Teresa is wearing, like, I feel
but then that fits perfectly with someone like Louis.
She's not going to admit it.
But see, that's perfect. She fits perfectly with someone like Louis, who, when asked, is it true that you slapped a woman in front of her kids, said, well, I heard that woman who I allegedly slapped in front of her kids, I heard that woman stabbed her ex with a butcher knife.
There was a lot more I wanted to hear around that. I'm like,
we might have to dig on that. I might have to dig on that.
That's so weird. I mean, it's the same thing.
I don't remember anybody getting stabbed with a butcher knife around here. I would hear if somebody got stabbed with a butcher knife.
And besides, I mean, you know, first of all, I don't think it happens. Second of all, that doesn't have anything to do with did you slap the kids? Did you slap a girl in front of her kids? Whether she did something with one of her exes or not has absolutely no bearing on did you smack her around in front of her kids.
Isn't that gaslighting too? Like when you try to
total gaslighting, total gaslighting, total, you know, trying to deflect. It's like deflection. Yeah. Right. And it's so easy to do with women.
I would say you're being stupid, dude. Like,
well, no, that makes him look like a misogynistic man.
Do to you?
Yeah, I mean,
it also makes him look like a misogynist too, because he's trying to do the, you know, the crazy, you know, she's just a crazy chick. You know, you all know what it's like to have a crazy chick on your butt.
Yeah, I think he's got an girlfriend. Yeah, he's good at potentially reverting back to his old ways of trying to discredit the women and like how they might actually be feeling in a relationship. So
kind of like
maybe
if she's I'm sorry, but if she did stab somebody, what does she deserve to be smacked around in front of her kids?
Exactly.
It kind of like you like where kind of where his head's going, and you're kind of like, man, this is the second week in a row this dude said something stupid. Like he said something to Marge, like you don't intimidate me on your best day, and this week he's like,
I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Joe.
and
go ahead. What were you saying?
You know, and to some people's point, you're like, hey, if Louis is saying that, hey, he heard about this stabbing thing, but he stayed with her anyways, despite of that, and knowing that Teresa's like family and friends are concerned about the rumors, then Louis must know why the people are asking these questions, because they are concerned for Teresa. So I don't necessarily think that like either Teresa or Louis should really be mad. Oh, did you guys see the after show interview that they that was released today? I think Teresa,
I don't know if I did.
I'm behind on it. I just finished the regular show.
I may have seen it. But I trust Teresa. She is strong, and I think if Louis tried to, physically hurt her, I think she would punch him in the throat.
Yeah.
But Joe, I think I think I saw the after show. What was it that she said that you remember?
I think she was generally pissed about.
I don't think.
Right, and I think and she was saying like if Tracy really had a problem or had a question, that she should just address Teresa, not.
That was so stupid. Yeah, as though it should have been among the women. But no, it was because otherwise she would have said go directly to the horse's mouth, right? Normally you say to take it directly to, you have like the girl shouldn't be getting involved in the guy stuff. If the guy wanted to ask the guy directly, that's the most appropriate way to do it, is for guy on guy, not guy to ask his wife to go to Teresa to ask about Louis. Because if it had gone that way, she would have beefed about it too. She would have said, that's a pussy ass move, to have a question and to take it to your wife, who takes it to her friend, who's the girlfriend of the guy involved. That's absurd. I mean, she must be smoking crack the way that she could twist this stuff.
And I just don't even think it would get to that point, because Teresa's not going to tell Louis no for anything. So it won't even get to the point where Louis is going to have to do anything. I don't think it's going to be. I think she's a yes girl, so it's just going to be that.
Yeah, but to me,
it's not going to get to the point where she's going to fight with him.
I'm happy for Teresa if she
I am too.
Feels happy.
I think he's good.
Louis, but I just feel like she like I was so impressed with her when she competed for that muscle. Yeah, where she got like really toned, like bodybuilding type of. Like I wish she would like dedicate that much energy and time into like premarital counseling as she did.
It would be a good idea. She's got trauma, Yeah,
because I think like after her experience with Joe Giudice, like I just have a feeling that this has got to be like it has to be the experience that she had before. She
can't handle another loss.
I'm afraid if it turns left, she's the kind of person that wouldn't tell anybody. She'd try to keep up appearances, and
it's not going to get to the point where she's going to leave him. It'll never happen, and he's not going to leave her. So I don't think we'll have to worry about it. Honestly, like they're very obsessed with each other, so it might
maybe it'll work out.
It might be helpful, it might not be, but. He's a keeper, I think, but I
think she'd still be with Joe if they both hadn't gone away,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no way.
No. And so when y'all were talking, because I was thinking back and I was wondering similarly, Trish, if, so if he did hit her or something like that, would she punch him in the throat or whatever, or Joe was talking about, she
try
got
to hide it
or whatever. But I realize physical and Cat, you can't be doing this.
Oh, you know what? I wonder. Wait, do we already know if that girl who allegedly stabbed her ex is the person that's actually dating David now, or is it different?
Oh, that's right.
No, but I think we found out that that's not the same person. I think.
Oh, okay.
So like I think person. Dolores. Jet, listen.
No. I think Teresa confirmed on Watch What Happens Live that it was, but then Teresa was saying that that girl and Louis only dated for 2 months.
Okay.
I mean, how's
if it is the same woman, I wonder if Dad.
I think that Dolores came out and said,
I don't think David would date somebody who would stab people in the back.
Yeah, or somebody that's like Dolores came out and said like they had the same name or similar names or something like that, and so but they weren't even from the same town, and so there was some confusion there.
I mean,
I don't know. I guess we'll have to research that and come back. But I was just thinking back. Don't hop back up there, Jet. You need to start listening. Is all the times that Joe spoke so nasty to her, like in front of the camera, she didn't blink,
and she stuck up for him,
and she, to even like against her brother,
the end,
has stuck up for him.
She's never
to the very end.
So
yeah, and Jet, listen. Sorry, someone's ready for me to
I know I'm getting my cat's getting hungry.
Without this laptop. He's like desperately trying to knock it over. So anyway, that was I kind of wanted just to go echo like, yeah, she may. I mean, I hope that nothing bad ever happens between them. They remain blissfully in love while I get my finger bit. But
I mean, my old Italian grandparents were both feisty, and they would start screaming at each other, and my grandfather would yell at my grandmother. But I swear, I kind of feel like if anything really went down, she could have killed him and hidden the body.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was matriarchal ultimately, even though he squawked a lot. I feel like really and truly it was a matriarchal kind of home. And I get that sense from Teresa too. She'll probably give him a lot of rope, but at some point, behind the scenes, not in front of the camera, she'd probably say,
there's a whole she has a whole team. So. She had a whole team to do that for her.
No, I really hope so, Trish. But like even the talk about the prenup, like she's still very traditional about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like once they actually get married,
she'll have to kill
her
him.
Being subservient again will still be the theme of.
I think she will be. I feel like that's just. I think she is going to be subservient because you see it. I mean, that just seems to be her nature with her men.
I mean,
up to a point. Like I feel like behind the scenes, maybe she took Joe to task, and we maybe didn't see it. But
yeah, well, I think she puts a lot of her value because of her traditional upbringing in being a wife and a mother, and there are a lot of people I know that, and for me, it was hard when I reached a certain age to be like, oh, I'm not married. And some of that was societal pressures and that kind of thing. And I had always envisioned myself with 3 kids. And then it was like, okay, that's that's looking less and less likely. And then I kind of just had to reset and be like, okay, but this means that you can go do all these other things. And it's not that one is better than the other. It's just, you have different experiences now, but I don't think that she's going to be able to ever say like, okay, I'm fine not being a wife. Like,
right.
Especially as her kids, go away to college and And the emptier her nest gets, the more she's gonna need, or
100%.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be her own.
Like Dolores, she said, I want somebody who I can spend my life with. I don't want to just be a doctor's wife. Like look at all the things that, even if she has Frank is his own man. Like she's still like, they just want somebody to spend their life with. Like they don't even have to get married, really. I mean, I think at our age, you don't really have to. And I think Teresa just wants somebody, like you said, like they're just, I think the engagement happened because of her parents. I think because they wouldn't want her to live with somebody if it was a commitment. I don't believe she's going to marry him. I mean, it's maybe eventually, but I think right now she's just like dreaming about it. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the engagement was just so they can live together.
Do y'all remember that psychic that came in? And Dolores cried about her dogs, but not about David.
Yes,
she didn't cry because of her dogs. She cried because it was validation that it was real, not just because she didn't.
No, well,
the psychic was right. But the psychic was right.
I was going with the easy to remember trigger your memory thing.
But the psychic was right.
But remember they said that. Ow, Jet! Oh my gosh, you are.
I want you to feed it. But the psychic was right. She broke up with David.
Well, they said like, I don't remember.
He's a good guy, but not for you.
And do you remember what they said for Teresa? That your parents are looking down and they're sending you somebody.
I told you.
They've sent you somebody, I think is what they said.
He believes
I sent you somebody. And at that point, I think it was brand new. And I don't remember. I think like a couple people knew. Like
that's right, Melissa.
But like the boat was,
and maybe Dolores or her.
He was just like kind of like stalking her from where the shore house. He could see her.
Yeah,
he could see her leave her shore house, and he lived down the street, and he'd watch her walk her car every day.
When it came to the boat, you are a handful.
I can't wait to. That makes every time I watch, I can't wait to get to the beach. I literally can't take it anymore. I need to get outside. I get it. I can't watch.
Anyway, so maybe we need to meet with that psychic. They need to come to New York and let us know all of our.
That's a good idea.
How good they are.
I just met this lady. I keep posting her stuff. This lady on her name's I forget her name now. Deborah Solaris. Oh my God. She reads Akashic Records. Oh, it's amazing. She reads Akashic Records, tells you where you're from and everything. It's amazing. I keep posting her stuff on Facebook, but we won't get into that stuff on here. But anyway.
Okay, so we'll have to have a separate live to talk about past lives and psychics and all that.
Seriously, because I need this oh my God.
I know you're dying to get it out, and it sounds like Gabriella has. Oh my God.
Yeah. I cannot wait to get it. I just literally can't. I'm obsessed. Now I'm like digging into this her whole entire channel. And I feel like it's crazy. Her name's
he always, when he jumps up, he turns on
Debbie Solaris. She reads like Akashic Records. So basically, like, instead of you doing your past lives, she can read where you're from, like your past lives. She can read them through your. Oh my God! I just watched her do like 10 of them. And these people are like, wow, it's amazing. I posted it. I don't know if it posts to Facebook or not. It does post to Facebook. But when I post from Gaia, I try to get it on the Instagram too. But oh my God, it's like amazing. It's amazing. You have to watch it. It's just amazing. I can't even talk. I can't even like. It blows my mind and like I know this stuff's real, but it still blows my mind every day. I'm just like, wow. Okay. Like, this is real. All right. I
want to apologize to Erin. She came on, and I don't think I let her get a word in edgewise. So I'm
just glad she called in. No, I'm just glad she called in.
You were quiet most of the time, Sarah. What are you talking about?
I know.
Well, I feel like I'm a talker. So,
I mean, I'm high, so I gotta go eat. I gotta go.
And Rosemary and Erin, did you think I was too quiet? Yeah, maybe I was, but blame Sarah.
Well, there were a lot of people on, so like when there's like 6, it's hard to.
Yeah.
So.
And then you get people watching that I don't want them to watch right now. Let's just go. We gotta go. Go in the private chat. I gotta go. Let's hang out. We gotta go. This guy's getting my nerves. I gotta go.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, I loved talking to you guys.
Were you saying something, Joe?
No, who is it, Krista?
Just go in the private. Shut up. Just go in the private chat when we hang up. All right, I gotta go. We gotta go. Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I hate him.